stop crying over what ended. You've been replaying the past, wishing things had turned out differently, grieving what was lost. And while grief has its place, there comes a moment when mourning becomes resistance. Resistance to the new thing God is trying to birth in your life. You are so focused on what died that you can't see what's being born. But what if I told you that the season you're mourning had to end so the breakthrough you've been praying for could begin? What if the closed chapter wasn't the end of your story? It was the setup for the best part. I see you. I've watched you scroll through old photos, replay old conversations, wonder what you could have done differently. I saw you stay stuck in a season that's over because moving forward feels like betraying what was. I was there when you said no to new opportunities because they didn't look like the old ones. You've been so afraid of forgetting the past that you've forgotten to live in the present. But God isn't asking you to forget. He's asking you to let go, because what He's about to do is so new, so different, so unexpected that you'll need both hands free to receive it. Amen. If you've been holding on to what's already gone, there's a woman in the Bible named Ruth. She lost everything. Her husband died. Her father-in-law died. Her brother-in-law died. She was left with nothing but grief, poverty, and a mother-in-law named Naomi, who was drowning in bitterness. Ruth had every reason to go back to her old life, to return to what was familiar. But instead, she made a radical decision. She looked at Naomi and said, "Where you go, I will go. Your people will be my people. Your God will be my God." Ruth chose the uncertain future over the familiar past. And that decision changed everything. Ruth and Naomi traveled to Bethlehem with nothing. Ruth had to work in the fields, gleaning leftover grain just to survive. It was humbling. It was hard. But while Ruth was faithfully showing up in the new season, God was orchestrating something she couldn't see. A man named Boaz noticed her. He showed her favor. He protected her. And eventually, He redeemed her. Ruth went from widow to wife, from poverty to provision, from mourning to marriage. But here's what you didn't know. Ruth didn't just gain a husband. She became part of the lineage of King David and ultimately Jesus Christ. Her new beginning wasn't just personal, it was generational. This is where most people miss it. They think letting go of the old season means dishonoring it, but it doesn't. Ruth honored her husband's memory by choosing to live. She honored the past by refusing to stay stuck in it. And God honored her faith by giving her a future that exceeded anything she lost. The old season had to end so the new one could begin. And the same is true for you. Comment 777 if you're ready to stop mourning and start moving. So let me ask you, what old season are you refusing to release? What past are you clinging to that's keeping you from your future? Ruth could have stayed in Moab, surrounded by memories, but she chose Bethlehem, where nothing was familiar, but everything was possible. And because she moved forward, God met her there with a blessing she never imagined. Within the next 45 days, God is going to present you with something new, a new opportunity, a new connection, a new direction. And it's not going to look like the old season. It's going to feel different, unfamiliar, maybe even uncomfortable. And in that moment, you'll have a choice. Retreat to what's familiar but dead, or step into what's unfamiliar but alive. This is your Ruth moment. The old season is over. The new one is here. But you can't walk into it with your hands full of the past. Here's your action. In the next 7 days, do one thing that represents moving forward. Clean out the closet. Delete the contact. Close the chapter in your journal. Let go of one piece of the old season that you've been holding on to. It doesn't have to be dramatic. It just has to be intentional. Because releasing the old creates space for the new. And God can't fill your hands with what's next if you're still gripping what's gone. Ruth didn't know Boaz was coming. She didn't know she'd become part of the lineage of the Messiah. She just knew she had to keep moving forward. She had to show up in the new season, even when it was hard, even when it was uncertain, even when it didn't make sense. And God met her there. He'll meet you there too, but you have to move. You have to stop mourning and start trusting. You have to release what ended so you can receive what's beginning. Type Amen to activate this word over your life. You think the best days are behind you, but they're not. Ruth's best days weren't in Moab. They were in Bethlehem. Joseph's best days weren't in his father's house. They were in Egypt. David's best days weren't hiding in caves. They were ruling a kingdom. And your best days aren't in the season you're mourning. They're in the season you're about to enter. But you'll never know that if you keep looking back. Stop mourning the old season. It served its purpose. It taught you what you needed to learn. But it's over. And the longer you stay there emotionally, the longer you delay what God has prepared for you. Ruth had to leave Moab to find Boaz. She had to release the familiar to receive the miraculous. And so do you. The new thing God is doing won't look like the old thing. It will be better. It will be bigger. It will be beyond what you imagined. But you have to let go to find out. The next 45 days are critical. New doors are opening. New people are coming. New opportunities are presenting themselves. But if you're still emotionally camped out in the old season, you'll miss them. God is doing a new thing. He's creating fresh paths. He's opening unexpected doors. He's bringing people into your life who will rewrite your story. But you have to move forward to meet them. Ruth didn't stay in Moab grieving. She went to Bethlehem believing, and her faith was rewarded with a future she never dreamed possible. Stop mourning what ended. Start believing in what's beginning. The old season is closed. The new one is open. Walk into it with both hands free and your heart ready. God is about to do something new, and it's going to be worth every tear you cried letting go of the old.